I just realized that my problem is that isn't that I overthink, but it's that I overthink in like the perspective of the next person. So I just tried it out with myself, and I realized that if I just like sit there and I just think about like, damn, like, am I comfortable here? Am I this and this and this? And like when I started digging deep, I realized that, you know what? I would genuinely stand in a lot of situations, like, and like I would take up lots more space just because like I'm comfortable in my own skin, and that's like because I made sure that I'm comfortable and I didn't even think about the next person. It's really easy not thinking from the next person's perspective when I tried it, you know what I'm saying? Because like imagine like walking down the street. Usually you'd be like pondering like, okay, am I walking right? Da da da. But like if you're just thinking, damn, like my walk cool right now, like I'm feeling good with this walk. Because the other day now I was watching a YouTuber and they had this like really like weird ass walk, and I was doing it. I realized that it probably looked weird to the next person, but I didn't care because it felt nice. Like it really felt nice. I don't know if it felt nice because like I admired the YouTuber so much, or because the walk genuinely like was nice. Like it was that gangster walk too. It was that gangster walk. I was like, damn, like I feel like a gangster. I feel like I'm a rapper person. I bet somebody say something. I bet somebody say something. I bet you. Ooh, had me choking. Had me choking like I bet you want to say something. I bet you want to say something. Ah, but it's fun, you know what I'm saying? Like when you think about things like from your perspective and you know you're having fun with whatever you're doing, and you think about it like from like the perspective of like, I'm having fun right now. I don't care what the next person thinks or feels. In fact, you're not even thinking about the next person because like you're having so much fun. Like how it's like a child playing with a ball, and she's like, damn, like I'm having fun with this ball. I bet the next person over there is wondering if I'm happy, like I'm having fun, and I don't care if they. No, you're not. Like you're really like into whatever you're doing and you're enjoying it. And here and there you see people looking at you, but you're like, I know you wish you were me, because deep down inside, like we all know and realize that like everyone has these thoughts like where they all want to conform and want to look this particular type of way. So that whole thing of like, I bet you want to be me is genuinely true, because I realized that like when people look at you and you're doing something different, it's because like they themselves are not used to that, are not used to seeing that, are not used to embodying that. So it also comes with a lot of compassion, because like, damn, like there's a lot of things that a lot of people wish they would could do and would do, but like they're holding themselves back because of judgment and all of that. So stepping out of that box and having fun outside of that box is so nice, and it's so like rejuvenating. I don't know, like it's so rejuvenating. Then the other day, like one of my cousins was like, walk properly, and I was like, well, I didn't even say anything. I just kept on walking and act like I didn't hear that. But like it's not, I acted like I didn't hear that because I was ashamed. I just act like I didn't hear that because I'm too busy, nigga. I'm too busy giving my walk of life. My walk to freedom, like long walk to freedom, bitch. And I'm at free, yo, walk to free, walk of freedom, walk of freedom. Cause a lot of times you have to walk a particular type of way and you're thinking, ah, am I? But that one was just, oh my, nah, that was a bar. That was a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, walk up, okay, okay. Calm down, calm down, calm down. One at a time, one at a time. You know what I'm saying? I will be signing everybody's poster, and I'm saying like, y'all want autographs? Oh, is that so? Come along, one at a time. Now don't push. Stop pushing. Don't push. But for real, like seriously, like it's even like the speech of freedom where you're just like not bothered about the next person. You're just like saying whatever's on your mind, and you're enjoying yourself. And like the stance of freedom, that's why a lot of people say like confident people take up space. That's because like they free, like they in their environment, they in themselves, and they're comfortable within their own skin. So instead of like, you know how someone looks when they like anxious and they kind of scared, they start rolling themselves up and they start like pinching their hands and putting them on their lap, da da da. But a confident person, like they take up space, say like they put their hands on like the the topper side of the chair, and they stretch them out, and they chillaxing, and they mold into the chair they're sitting in, but like in this cool and seductive way. And I feel like that's because like they're cool and they're happy within their own skin, and that reflects itself outside of them. And on top of that, if you have this thought of like, damn, like I'm sexy, like I feel like that's where the seductive part comes in, because a lot of confident people, I wouldn't say like they cute, but like they believe that about themselves, and they believe that about themselves so much so that it intoxicates the next person. And it's like it's not that they believe that about themselves like in this like overconfident way, but like they genuinely just like are absolutely comfortable in their own skin, and they love themselves for who they are and for however they look, and they feel like the best version of themselves. Yeah, that's the one. When you feel like the best version of yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the best version of yourself, and you look at that version of yourself, and you're like, damn, like that's the best, like that's the fieriest person ever. Like, you don't care if that's not as good as like another person, or that's not as cute as what most people would think, but like to you, that's like the best thing ever. So I feel like that's where that attractiveness comes from, because like it's that genuine, like, damn, like I'm the best, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you see a confident person, they also like oozing sexiness, but like they're not genuinely like facially like sexy. I feel like that's why, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you're just like working from like the best version of yourself type of like perspective, and you're like, damn, like I'm the finest bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm the finest bitch. Finest bitch. On top of that, I got the finest walk. I might have stolen it. I might have stolen it, but like, yeah, like, you know, yeah, yeah, rock on, nigga. Like, and then when you see someone looking at you, damn, like, okay, now that I think about it, I don't even think I even took note of. No, 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 no. I saw when they looked at me, but like I was so into like the walk, like no, 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 because like I had to be actively aware of the walk, because it was a new walk for me as well. So like, it's like brushing your teeth for the first time. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when you're used to brushing your teeth, like, you know, okay. I don't know why I use that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to sound like a criminal. What do you mean by that? So you're not used to it? I'm starting to sound like I've been putting a lot of people on t-shirts. Hell no. But um when you're used to it, like you do it like passively, subconsciously. But like when you're not used to it, like you have to be aware. You have to make sure that you're going in circles and all of that stuff. And you, like, you know what I'm saying? There's parts of like the mouth where you put a lot of strength into, and then there's parts of it where you just like do in circles, nice and slow, and like you don't put too much pressure so that you don't hurt your gums. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is all coming from because like I was starting to like be aware of a lot of things that I do, and I stopped like doing things unconsciously, because like I want to be actively in the present. You know what I'm saying? Because like whenever you brush your teeth, you think about something else, like, and half the time it could be negative. That's why. So like being consciously aware, and like now that I'm taking a lot of this thing in, has been quite fun. But that's all to say, like, when you're doing these new things that are not because it's normal, and because you want to look normal, and you want to make sure that, like, you know what I'm saying, all of these things, and you want to conform to the norm, it's it's new. So meaning like you have to be aware, which is really fun, because now you don't have time to think about what the next person is thinking about. No, you just think about like, damn, is this walk walking right now? Is this walk giving, is it giving the same energy that that guy was giving, to the point where like I literally wanted to embody it. You know what I'm saying? But like not in the like this critical way, but like, you know what I'm saying, like it's in this like, yeah, I'm feeling it, I'm really feeling this walk, bruh. Like, and then like you, and I'll corner of my eye, I'll see someone look at me, and then like I'll go back to my walk, and I'm like, damn, I'm feeling this walk so much, niggas be looking at me, like, you know what I'm saying. Instead of also thinking from the next person's perspective in this negative way, you really don't know what they're thinking, and half the time we really be thinking to ourselves that, oh, maybe they judging me, maybe they this and this and this, but like half the time, not really. Half the time, not really. Half the time, actually, you don't know. I don't know. But like from the perspective that I'm at right now, and from the reality that I'm living right now, and the reality I choose to live, and the thoughts I choose to have, not really. That bitch deep down inside is talking about something. Damn, that's a cool ass walk. Maybe I should do it too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do that, you're gonna live a good life, even if you're just being delusional. Even if you're just being delusional, because like at the end of the day, with the whole thing of manifestation, and all of that stuff. They say like whatever you put your energy on and your attention on, that becomes your reality. And I want my reality to be a one where like people accept me and they like what I'm doing and they enjoy the things that I enjoy, because I did enjoy that walk. You know what I'm saying? And I would like much prefer people walk in freedom than walk in like isolation and in like these little boxes that we put up for ourselves and that society put up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that perspective, like it's so freeing, it's so nice. Because even if like you do some weird ass shit, you're like, I do be a weird bitch. I hope nobody saw that. Where's my clock at? Where's my clock at? But you know what I'm saying? You get times where you stumble into like the whole critical thinking, but like since you have such a beautiful outlook on life and you just like accept yourself, it it tends to be less critical and a bit more like funny. Like the memes you see on the internet that everyone can relate to. Yeah, it tends to be like that. But you don't have it for a long time. You just like continue with it. Because now instead of like thinking, damn, like did anyone see me, da da da, you laugh. You laugh and it's easing, and now you get back into your body. Now you get back into this comfortable state. Because let me tell you something, when you do something weird and then you start critically thinking about it, like your body like becomes like rigid. It becomes rigid and you feel like, okay, let me keep this stance, and like it's very uncomfortable. But like once you laugh at yourself and you just like continue with life, bro, yeah. Hi. I've said my own. I've said my own, and I feel like that's amazing advice for myself and for you guys, because like I'm at a place where I do need reminders sometimes that, hey man, calm down, relax. Everybody cool with you doing whatever the fuck you want to do, and you don't have to do a particular thing to be accepted, because as long as you accept yourself, why would the next person not accept you? And even if they don't accept you, would you give a fuck? Because if you really like the something and someone else doesn't like it, that's like someone saying like, oh, pineapples are terrible, but like you love pineapples, like just because they say they're terrible, like you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck, bitch. Like you weird ass fuck for not liking these juicy ass voluptuous ass pineapples, but you do you. You know what I'm saying? You don't care. You know what I'm saying? You do you. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's pineapples. It's really pineapples. It's really me. It's really like, who's gonna live with you for as long as you have lived with you? Just you. So if you accept yourself, like at the end of the day, like nothing else is gonna matter. And like when I got to realize that, I was like, damn, like how could I have been like so mean to myself? Like really, like I literally live with myself. I literally live with my. That's like living with someone, and all the time, like you're like, you stupid bitch, you lame ass bitch, like you're not good enough. Like no, you're literally amazing, and you're good enough, and you're fantastic, and like you make me proud every day, because like you know what I'm saying, like with the spirituality part of things, you realize now that you chose that body. I chose you, nigga. I chose you for a reason. That's because you fine ass fuck. Like get the fuck out of here, bro, with your fine ass self. Oh my gosh. The walk, the smile, the self acceptance, the genuine love and care for myself. It's not like about like you're pretty, like not these physical things. No, it's about like the small things that I enjoy about myself. And that has come with a lot of like getting into like, damn, what do I like? It's crazy how much we really think about life from the next person's perspective and want to like make sure that we're like conform to them. It's to the point where sometimes like we forget what actually makes us happy, like what actually makes us enjoy things. Because like recently now I was thinking about like, damn, like even when I'm in a chain, like I was thinking of like the most awkward like scenario that I've been in like recently, nah. And that was in a train, because like trains like, bro, you sit on one side and then you looking at whoever created that, bro, you evil. You're evil. Evil bitch. You're evil. Cause you know I don't know that nigga. You know it's gonna be awkward as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And mostly that's mostly because like now I don't have a phone. So like I have to look forward. I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna do that. And I realized the more I thought about it, because I was like, okay, like you need to be comfortable with your own skin. And I kept thinking about it, and I realized that, okay, you know what, sometimes you shouldn't force things. Because I realized that I was forcing things. And I wasn't thinking about it from like, okay, what's the most comfortable thing in that scenario for me? Like what would I enjoy doing? You know what I'm saying? And I realized me getting up from that chair and just standing on the side, holding onto the rails. Yeah, that's where I'm the most happiest because I don't need to see another nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to look into someone's eyes, deep into their soul. Deep into their soul? No! No, no, hell no. I'm no, no, no. And getting that realization made me understand that, like, sometimes, yes, I would want to, like, not sit and not, like, be in the chair. And that doesn't mean that I'm not confident. That doesn't mean that I'm not comfortable in my own skin. That just means that that's not me. That's not me because like when I thought about that, like getting up and just standing, I was like, damn, that's cowardly. That's you getting back into your old like things of like, okay, let me get away from this situation that's uncomfortable, but that could be empowering if you like power through it. And I realized that confidence is not about powering through it. Comfortability is not about powering through it. Comfortability is genuinely being comfortable in your own skin. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could literally get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's powering through it. Like, you need to like get comfortable with this, and you need to understand when that is applicable. And then there's just like being literally comfortable with the usual habits that you did that are literally a piece of you and that are okay to accept. And that don't mean that you're running away from the situation or you're like choosing the cowardly way out or you're like, you know what I'm saying? Because I realized like me standing is like so nice because I literally get it to be in my head and I don't get moments where like I'm in my head and I'm smiling and then next thing I know I'm looking at someone's soul. Like I'm looking inside their fucking eye. Like no, like you know what I'm saying? Like imagine bro, this happens so much in a carriage, like where you're looking outside of a window, but like from the side of someone's head, and then next moment you like look and then you see that they're looking at you and you're like, what the fuck? And like you just start spiraling and I'm like, I would rather not. I would rather not. It's not like a I would rather not get out of my comfortable zone and do what truly would make me happy because like getting out of your comfort zone and powering through it, that you do that because you know there's a lasting thing that you're going to gain out of that. That's going to be good for you. That's going to make you happy. But I realized that what the fuck is going to make me happy about looking at inside this nigga's soul? Looking inside this nigga's eyes? No! I don't care about that. I care about getting to the destination. So sometimes I realize that it's literally not about me. Like, it's literally not about me. Because like getting on this journey of like being comfortable within my own skin, I realized that what does my skin want to do right now? Does my higher self want to do right now? Does my higher self want to be here and power through this? And how is that gonna like impact me in future? How is that gonna add value to me? You know what I'm saying? No, these are very important questions because sometimes I genuinely like see scenarios where I need to power through because this is gonna make me happy. This is gonna release a weight off of my shoulders. Example of powering through. I had to like speak up this other time and be like, hey, you're not making me comfortable and I'm gonna leave right now because I'm not happy. And that was a lot to do when you're a people pleaser or whatever. And just speaking up and like saying something that like not a lot of people would say because like after I said that there was a lot of silence, but like when I got home and I got to a place of comfort and I started breathing, I realized how light I felt, how happy I was, and I realized that that was the first time I realized that this is genuinely a journey of like making sure that my inner child is happy and content. That is the first time I actually like felt this connection with my inner child because I felt so like I felt so heard. That's not something my inner child had a lot. I felt heard. You know what I'm saying? I felt I felt like I did that. You know what I'm saying? I actually stood up for myself. Something that I haven't done in a long time that gained and I gained so much respect for myself. You know what I'm saying? And then like after getting into this emotion of like feeling light and feeling proud of myself and like feeling like fucking like oh it was like a slew of emotions by the way. Like it was a lot of things. It wasn't like just straightforward, like it was just a lot of things. And that's how I knew it's literally a relationship between you and your inner child because it was all of these emotions from way back. I don't even know from when, but like they were just crashing into me and it was a lot to take in, but at the same time it was the best thing to take in, like all of this happiness, all of this ease, all of this unease at the same time because like this is not something I usually do. So Yeah, like all of that like really showed me that there's layers, and like the small things mean so much. You would think, okay, let me just go through this, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like when you don't like you realize there's layers. And once you honestly it's the first step. Because after that first step it's honestly easier because like you did it the first time and they allowed you to go home, and like all the fears that you were having of them judging you or whatever, like they don't matter anymore because like they just don't matter because like the feeling of like relief and just lightweight, like it's addictive. It's addictive now. Like you want to feel that again. You want to feel that again. You want to be true to yourself. You want to keep that going. And then there's also the anxiety of, oh my gosh, like am I gonna like go back and am I not like gonna do that? But like as I said, like it's so addictive that now I don't even have those thoughts because it's like damn, like nah, this feeling is very addictive. Like there's no way I'm gonna go back to feeling that like I'm just gonna do whatever I don't feel comfortable doing. I'm more likely now to just tell you no. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Yes, there are gonna be moments where I'm thinking about it from the next person's perspective, but like when I do get into myself and I breathe into myself and I feel the emotions that I'm feeling and not the emotions that the next person is probably feeling, the emotions that I'm scared of because I want to people please. No, like the emotions that please me, that make me happy, that are mine. That's when I realized that, wow, I'm fucking proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I usually do. And you know what I'm saying? Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up, class. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. Don't throw your boobs. Okay. Okay, stop. Stop. Calm down. Calm down, gangy. Don't hype me up. Don't hype me up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I start getting into my own emotions, I just go into a fantasy world where I'm like, okay, okay, calm. Don't do a backflip. Okay, 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 calm down now, guys. Calm. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun, and I literally forget about this whole notion of, oh my gosh, did I just disappoint them? Da-da-da. No, I don't care about that anymore because I'm in this notion of like, damn, I literally just like made myself proud. That's literally the opposite of disappoint. Like, I literally just made myself proud. And damn, you know what I'm saying? I literally just made myself proud. And there's nothing that compares to that. There's nothing that compares to that. I literally don't care if I got you disappointed now. I don't care because like in my head I'm having a concert because I just said no. I just said no. I don't feel like doing that. And like in my head now I'm doing backflips. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I don't feel pressured. I don't feel like I'll put myself second. I feel like I will uphold my values and I will uphold my happiness, and that makes me so much more happier. That makes me so much happier to be me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a journey onto like being you. It's a journey of self-acceptance, and it's a journey of, you know what, fuck it, I love this walk, and if it's not what y'all usually see, look at it, nigga, look at it, because it's so fucking fun and fantastic. And I hope this for you too, but like that's not even like what's in the forefront of my mind. What's in the forefront of my mind is like, damn, I'm having fun. My inner child is having fun. She's walking her walk and she's enjoying herself and she's expressing herself and she feels seen and she feels heard and she's having fun. And that makes me happy. That makes me have fun. That makes me feel like I'm doing what I need to do. That makes me feel like I'm loving myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm genuinely loving myself. And just waking up and looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, damn, I love you. And genuinely meaning that and genuinely like taking that from the bottom of your heart and genuinely telling yourself that I care about you. And also having actions to prove that is it's different, you know? So I hope you try it and you feel how it feels. And I don't know, maybe along the way you realize that sometimes I don't want to power through this. I don't want to da da da. And when they are sometimes complicated like things where it's like, damn, like should I just do this? You know what I'm saying? Like ask yourself how you feel afterwards. Like how will you feel? Will you feel like you let yourself down? Will you feel like, you know what, that didn't even mean much to me? You know what I'm saying? Genuinely think about it. Like how would you feel? how would a person you cared about feel? How would a person you look up to feel? Would they usually do that? Would they, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, from the train thing, I realized that, you know what I'm saying, people that I look up to, they wouldn't care about like sitting there and like taking all of that pressure and just sweating in a chair, and hopefully they don't get to see someone's eyes. No, they would literally stand up and do what feels good to them and what feels, you know what I'm saying, like it's so much easier when you just think about like, damn, like what feels good right now, what like would feel good to do, what would feel true to myself, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's it's been a funny journey. It's been sometimes tough, but it's been a journey, you know? Okay, okay. I just wanted to end this like at this at the end, right? It's like you also get addicted to feeling selfish now because it feels selfish, but like it's not selfishness. It's self love. But like let me explain why it feels like selfish. Like because usually you would think like, oh damn, like how did they perceive that? Da, da, da. But now you don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care because like you're so addicted to this feeling of happiness and love and like joy, like you know what I'm saying. Usually you'd be worried like, oh my gosh, like I wonder if they like this, like, but like now I am actually aware of the next person, and I'm also aware of the fact that yeah, I don't care, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes like I know someone who wants something from me and like they won't voice it up, and usually my old self would like be like, oh, like hey, do you want help with this? But like now it's like, damn, like if that bitch really wanted some help, she would have said so, she would have said so, you know what I'm saying. But you know what's more important is the fact that my toes look like this. They're so beautiful. Seriously, like I will literally above you and your uncomfortability will be me. Will be me and whatever the fuck I'm thinking about. Like if that's my toes, but then my toes are much more important than you and your suffering. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired now of like embodying other people's suffering. I'm tired now of worrying about whether or not you're suffering because that's making me suffer. Is it okay for me to suffer instead of allowing you to suffer your own shit because you're allowing yourself to suffer as well? That's something I had to realize that, hey, at the end of the day, this person is allowing them to suffer. And that came with accountability for myself as well. I had to realize that people pleasing wasn't because like people forced me to. That was because I was allowing myself to suffer under the arms of people. I was allowing myself to do that. I was allowing them to do that. I was doing it to myself in a sense. It wasn't them doing it. It was me. I was the problem. So I just look at people, it's like, damn, you're the problem, nigga. And once you find it out, you're gonna be so happy. That's how I look at it. But like, more so, like, I'm just so happy being selfish now. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy. Like, anytime I look at a person, I see their problem, and I look to myself and I'm like, hey, this is all about you. This is all about making you happy. I feel so seen. I feel so like, damn, like you really finna look at a bitch and be like, fuck that bitch. I love you. Like, yo, it really be like I'm in a relationship with myself. It's like, fuck that bitch. It's just me and you shot against the world. It's like, for real? For real? My gangy. That's my gang. That's my gang. Like, it feels so good. Just looking at someone and be like, damn, look at you suffering. But I don't give a fuck. Look at you asking me to do something. But I don't give a fuck. Cause right now, my toes looking a bit good. My toes need some type of complimenting. I don't have a toe fetish, by the way. It's just like I've just like been falling in love with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I've really realized like I don't look at myself. I don't look at myself inside or outside as much as I do other people. But like now I don't do that. I don't do now I'm looking at myself all the time. I'm like, damn, are you comfortable? Sure you should be, bitch. With your fine self. With your fine self. You know what I'm saying? Like now I don't have the urge to put someone's comfortability before my own. Yeah, sure I have the thought. But like when that thought comes, now that I'm aware that thought comes, that thought actually is a guidance, you know, in a sense. Whenever that thought comes, I'm like, oh, okay, hey, shawty, I'm not gonna do that to you. So it's a beautiful relationship between you and yourself because it's like now like you've gotten so used to like laying yourself down that I realize like there's a piece of myself, there's a version, the younger version of myself. Whenever that thought arises, it gets quiet. Like it gets quiet. It gets quiet in the sense that like oh it's expecting me to do the thing that I usually do. And it hurts, but I get it, shawty. But like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I get the thought, I just go, hey, I'm not gonna do that. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like I love you. It's just like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I'm not. And if the pressure around me is so like tough, I will get up and I will actually leave. I'll leave. I'll leave. I'll go like distract myself. And it took quite a minute to like convince myself that that's not me being weak, or that's not me running away from it and like powering through it. Because like usually my thought of like being confident and like truly embodying the decision that you've made, which is like, I'm not gonna do that, means like you staying there and you being comfortable in that. But like sometimes I realize that sometimes it's okay to like retreat and build that confidence within yourself and then go back, because the pressure is alive and it's existent, and you're not always supposed to be like just pummeling and just working hard. Sometimes you need to like also get easy on yourself and just be proud of the mere fact that you made that decision to not make the usual decisions that you make. Just be proud about that, even if like you need to retreat, because sometimes I need to retreat, honestly. Like sometimes like someone will ask me something that I usually like do a lot for, and like I'll feel some type of way, and sometimes like they will be like, oh my gosh, like you're so boring, and like that will cut at me. But like when it comes to that, I've voiced my emotions out, and surprisingly the person was absolutely like what is this, accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times you think like, oh my gosh, like if I voice my shit out, like they're not gonna like accept it, like oh da da da. No, like the person was highly accountable, like even so accountable, like it made me uncomfortable. Like now they like actively aware of the things they say, and like the only reason I know this is because like I've been so used to like being aware of how the other person feels or how the other person is acting, that now I know like they so like it's making me uncomfortable, but at the same time it's making me so happy because I did that. And like it also makes me happy because I now realize that this person cares about me, and that also like opened my eyes to the fact that like, you know what, like I was allowing this, bro. Like they didn't force me to do none of this shit. Like they literally like now that I said like, hey, like I don't feel comfortable doing that, they were like, oh okay, like okay, that makes sense, like my bad. You know what I'm saying? They were literally okay with it. That was so life changing, and like to this day I hope that person knows, like I feel like I'm gonna cry, like hey man, like you really did a lot for me by that, like just by like accepting me for me, or accepting that like, hey, I don't want to do this. Because a lot of times like when you're a people pleaser, you feel like they're gonna crash out or whatever, but like if that person genuinely cares about you, they wouldn't crash out, which is something I knew. But like when it actually happens to you, like it yeah, it like it does something to you. But like before I actually voiced my uncomfortability out, like it took me a minute, like it took me a damn minute, yo. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it now, and then I go back, and I was like, I'll do it now. But, like I did it, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then, like when I did it, they were like, oh, okay, I get it. I apologize for like making you feel that way, and I was like, damn, you apologize? What? You apologize? Oh my gosh. I need to put this one in the books. I need to put I'm saying I don't even have a journal. I don't even have like I'm saying I don't even have that. But I'm gonna get it now. I need to put that one in a book on this very fucking day. My thoughts and my perceptions were proven wrong. And I now realize that I look at the world through a filter that's that keeps on what's this word? That keeps on making me feel like I need to do this, or making me feel, oh, I keep on looking at the world from a particular perspective that's not true. And the perspective plays a role in, mm, in making me feel and believe that, like, what I think it, okay, how did I say this? But it's true, like the perceptions you have keep you in these limiting boxes. Because like if I didn't have this perception of like, oh, people are gonna crash out on me, I would be less fearful of like expressing myself. You know what I'm saying? So like basically these thoughts and beliefs that we have kind of keeps us in these limiting like realities. And like once you step out of them, you realize that damn, like that perception was like a lie. It was a lie that my mind built up to keep this reality that it's living in going. You know what I'm saying? It was a lie. I lied to myself. That wasn't true, and I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And then like once I realized that there's a lot of things in my life that like I don't know that for sure. Like I don't know if like people are mean. I don't know that. Like like people like sitting here and being like people are evil. Like have you genuinely seen what evil is? Like and I realized like what is my perception of evil? What would something what would be what can someone do to me that I would like perceive as evil? And has that ever happened to me? Have I been on that like side of like the scope? And I realized that no, I haven't. Like in fact, like people have been quite okay around me. Like yeah, sure we'll have our ups and downs, but like no, like genuine like the scope of evil that I had, like it really made me feel like damn, like these people are angels. They angels. And I realized that like I keep on having these perceptions of reality that keep me in these limiting boxes, that keep me suppressed or keep me away or keep me in fear that are not even true, are literally concepts that I don't even know where I picked up on. But like now it's like, damn, like that's a lie. That's a lie. Like think about it like as an introvert, like whenever you go out, you're like, damn, like people like oh it's so annoying, like oh I can meet people. But like, bro, you don't know that for sure. Like why isn't it like damn like today I'm probably not gonna meet nobody. Like today I'm probably gonna bang it up. I ain't gonna meet nobody. Like now I have those types of dialogues because it's like I don't know. I've been living my life through lies this whole time. Like so why don't I make lies that make me feel happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the end of the day, I realized that the more you think something, and that comes with manifestation as well. Like, the more you think something, the more that becomes your reality, and the more you magnet that into your life. So now, like, I go outside, I'm like, I'm not even gonna see nobody today. It's just one of those days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those days. You know what I'm saying? And like, bruh, and I realized that like I've literally like been making myself a prisoner of my own like mind, a prisoner of my own perceptions, a prisoner of my own like fears that like are literally like unfounded. It's crazy, but like now I don't have that. Now it's like I'm cool. Like even when I tell someone no and I feel like they're gonna have a particular reaction, I try to keep it in my head that you know what, everything works out in my favor and everyone respects and acknowledges me the same way I respect and acknowledge myself. That's literally something I say to myself. And that's not an affirmation I found anyway. And I find that like whenever you're in a situation and you find something that you say to yourself that's true to yourself, that you could make an affirmation, it's better than just finding an affirmation on the internet and just using it on yourself, because that's something that genuinely resonates with you, that you thought about when pressure was hitting you. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I was in that pressure, I was thinking like, damn, like how are they feeling? That's you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I pull myself back and I'm like, hey, it's okay. You're okay. And in fact, everything works out in your favor. Everyone accepts you. Accept it, because like you thinking that they're gonna crash and all of that, you that comes from you not accepting yourself and you feeling like a lot of other people won't accept you. And you know what I'm saying, that's why, that's how people pleasers are made, because like you want to please people because you feel like you just being your natural self is not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really get deep into this shit, you're like, damn, like I wonder where that came from in my childhood, but like I don't. I don't wonder where that came from. Like damn, like that shit must have been highly root. Like that must have been deep. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm really grateful I don't remember. I don't want to know. But I do want to work through it because I feel like I deserve better. My younger self deserves better. I feel like regardless of whether I know where it comes from, like it's not gonna help. But like this journey has been quite helpful, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I realize there's certain traumas that we have and certain triggers that we have that I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But like, thank you for making me understand where it comes from, the root of that, and that's thanks to like the internet and like just really looking with deep inside myself and realizing that damn, like I'm a people pleaser. Wow, wow, that's crazy. And you will do something for so long you won't even realize that you have that tendency until like you see someone explain it or whatever. So I find it very fun to like watch these like psychological videos. Seriously, like this is this psychological channel of Psych to Go and other things that just explain like, oh, are you a, and like I'll literally get into it just to see like, or do you have like what is this avoidant type of relationship tendencies, and like where that comes from. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I have that, like where that comes from, like oh my gosh, like you don't need to tell me that much, but like I have that, like, and how to go through it. And that's really been helpful and really been fun, because like now I get to like look at myself and genuinely see myself and genuinely see the underlying like tendencies that I've overlooked, or that I never even realized I had, because like I've just been entertaining them for such a long time. And then when you really look at it, like it makes you want to cry, because like you realize all the times that you did something for someone else that you weren't happy or you weren't comfortable in doing, or you felt like you weren't acknowledged enough. And it just goes to say, like, you need to acknowledge yourself. You need to do something that makes you happy, whether or not like that makes someone else feel this type of way. And that shouldn't even be in the forefront of your mind. What should be in the forefront of your mind is like, am I happy? So now I'm really like on this high of like, damn, like I literally just put myself first again. Like it's always such a surprise. It's always such a like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? I did that again and I'm happy. And bro, there's subtle ways where like I'll do something for other people that like I just hate. And I don't know, okay, let me not say I don't know how to get over it, but like, so basically, you know, sometimes like someone will be chatting to you and like you don't give a fuck. Yeah, you really don't give a fuck. But like they'll be chatting and like you just have to stand there and just like allow them to keep chatting, because you don't want to just walk away. But like recently I've been making excuses like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the toilet and I'll never come back. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, is that so? And then like I'll leave, like I'll find an opening to leave, like, and like that will make me happy. But like I would rather I just like stand up and like be like, hey, like I don't want to hear that. That's no, because like, okay, let me explain why I have this. There's someone around me right now in my life that has a negative tendency to speak about negative things. And now that I'm all in this energy of like being positive and all of that stuff, like I don't know how to say like, hey, I don't want to speak about that, it's draining me. But like now that I've said it right now, I realize that that comes from another limiting idea that's dumb, because this person would absolutely understand if I said that. Wow. This is helpful. Okay, okay, this was very helpful. So, wow. I'm not even scared anymore. Like, wow. You know what? Like finding out what your limiting like I tendencies are, like absolutely life changing. Like seriously, like you realize that what a dumb thing I was thinking about. Like this person would literally understand, like, hey, like I get it, you're going through this, but like I don't want to hear that. All of those, I don't want to hear that. Okay, I don't feel comfortable hearing that, and I hope it gets better. But literally, I know if, bro, like that's something I've learned through all of this. Like people will be like you're the person who makes your reality. Like I've been listening to like The Secret, all of that stuff, and like literally, you're literally right. Like literally, like anytime I feel some type of way, I know how the solution. There's just these limiting ideas that I have that make me feel like the solution like is gonna backfire or whatever. And even if the solution does backfire, like putting yourself first is like fucking do it, bro. Do it. Do it. Do it. And be open and being like honest, and just don't like go around the bush. Just be like, hey, genuinely have that conversation, bro. Like even if it's uncomfortable, like, hey, you're not making me comfortable, like or whatever. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like in my head, like when the thing is happening, I'll actually get so annoyed that I'll be like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Why do you keep doing this? But it's like, no, they don't know how you feel. And that's something that I had to like come into like grasp it, because like as a person who's a people pleaser, you get to a point where you like start blaming other people for how they make you feel, and you're like, I don't understand like how you wouldn't know how you're making me feel. But bitch, they don't know. They really don't know. And that's okay. That's okay. Because do you know how someone else is feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to put myself on the hot seat and realize that I don't know how other people feel when I ask them to do something or whatever. Like, sometimes I will see that they get. That's the thing. That's why we like, okay, there's no way they didn't know. Because, like, we can see the small, like, little um mood shifts that you have, like we can see that, but like some people don't. And I had to like get into that and like had to like understand that I'm being unreasonable, and I need to voice my own fears, voice my own issues, because nobody else is going to do that for me. So yeah, it's been a process where I just realized that, hey, like I need to have this conversation. I can't like expect them to just read my body language. Like I need to say it. And even if they are reading my body language and I know that they know how I feel and they still go on with it, I also need to understand that that's not their position, that's not their job. And that comes from like the whole selfish thing where I was like, I see how people feel, but like I don't care. I don't care. Like that's you need to voice yourself up. And I see that for other people, and seeing that for yourself is it's a life changer because it's like damn, like I realize how I feel and I realize that they're not realizing how I feel, so they may express it. Let me express it. However they react is whatever, but like right now I'm just so happy for expressing it. I'm just so happy for putting myself first. I'm just so happy for making a decision that I usually wouldn't make. That's saying that's phenomenal. This is so long. This is very long. This is long. This is long, isn't it? So I think I'm gonna just like post these two videos like separately, but like a day after each other. But like it's literally a continuation from the other. No, no, no. Let me just post them together. Like why am I trying to do that? But yeah, it's it's crazy because usually you feel like even with yourself being a people pleaser, that's the thing about you. You have this tendency where like you can see the subtle things. So like you're like, oh my gosh, oh do you want this, da, da, da. And you're always there for other people. So like in your mind you're like, damn, why aren't people there for me? That's because you haven't allowed them to be. You haven't allowed them to read into your subtle tendencies because you're always acting like you're happy, or you're always acting like you want to do whatever the person is saying. Like you haven't voiced discomfort, or you haven't shown them of the version of yourself that desires to be taken care of because you're always the caretaker. That's like our mothers, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what's genuinely like emotionally disturbing our mothers because they haven't shown us that version of themselves. But you see it in the things that they do, like with like they mad or whatever. But you don't know the tenderness underneath that anger. You don't know that, and they haven't shown you that. And a lot of mothers will be like, I'll do a lot for you, and you don't know what that means. But like recently I've had a video where like this lady was literally explaining and coming into detail with like the emotional things that they had to go through. And it's like at the end of the day, I saw myself in her because like she was like, damn, like you don't see this. And it's like, no, it's not that I don't see this, but you haven't expressed that version of yourself. You haven't shown me that piece of yourself. Because I'm telling you, true to God, if you're a mother and you tell your child like, hey, like whenever you do this, it makes me feel unworthy, it makes me feel worthless, it makes me feel like you don't care about what I'm saying, instead of you saying like, yo, you're so annoying, you never listen to me, da da da, that will literally be like perceived and felt and received a different type of way, and you will definitely get a different like outcome. I'm telling you, bear, like it made me realize that there's so much power within being vulnerable, there's so much beauty within being vulnerable, because like I realized that I want to see that version of myself within me, but like within everyone else, because you deserve to be heard. That version of yourself deserves to be heard. You shouldn't keep that version of yourself inside yourself for so long that like the only way you feel like you can express it is when like you get to your point of like, I've had enough, and then you like burst with anger. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my days. That was like so eye opening that like at the end of the day you can't expect someone to know these things just because you say them over and over again in a particular type of way. You need to sit there and express it the way that you feel it, and express your emotions. Tell them what you feel. I feel hurt, I feel not hurt, I feel all of these things, and it feels uncomfortable to say because like as a society we haven't been bred or like taught up to like express ourselves. If anything, we've been told to not express ourselves because like that's weak. But I beg to differ. I beg to differ, because when that lady said that, I saw a powerful, powerful individual who was okay with expressing that version of themselves. Because I know how it feels to want to tell someone like how I feel and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be judged. Oh my gosh, this and that. And I know how powerful it feels to actually tell someone how you feel. And because like there's this thrill of, there's a thrill. There's a thrill, and emotions don't lie. There's a thrill of, I said that. There's a thrill of, I'm heard, like, oh, I'm hearing myself, because like it's not a lot of times it's not even about like the next person hearing you, but it's about you hearing yourself, and you like listening to yourself, and you acting on like making sure that this version of yourself that feels unheard, or this version of yourself that feels like unworthy, there
their feelings are voiced out there, and they're not just like kept inside and like told that okay, you can't come out here or whatever, and you're not made to feel less than, or you're not made to feel like you can't be heard or seen, because you keep doing that to yourself. You keep telling yourself that no, I'm not gonna say it, I'm just gonna go with it. In a sense, you're telling yourself that that other person's emotions or that other person's reaction is way more important to me than my emotions are, or that you are basically that version of yourself that wants to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more important to me. So taking that step to make sure that you're comfortable and you're happy, that's power. That's strong. Mostly if you've like been a people pleaser, that's strong. That's strong. Like that's different. That's different. So I can attest to like that whole bullshit of like, oh, express yourself, that's a lot of ass. That's a lot of ass. It's a lot of ass, actually. It's a lot of ass. Yeah, it's a lot of ass. That's all you need to know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like that got me a little emotional because damn, seriously, like it's quite unrealistic to expect someone to understand or feel what we feel. We need to express what we feel, and whatever the reaction is doesn't matter. We need to make sure that ourselves know that they will be heard, that they will be expressed, that they will be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledged, and they won't just be brushed aside. And we won't treat ourselves the same way that other people treat us. Because I realized that not only did I think I was a victim of other people, but more so, I was a victim of myself. I victimized myself all the time. I just made myself feel unworthy, all of these things. Yeah, and I did more damage than the next person did, you know? I did more damage because like fuck how someone treats me, but like if I treat me the same way, what type of relationship am I having? You know what I'm saying? What type of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. So, yeah. I learned through this journey that it's unrealistic to expect people to know how you feel, and it's empowering to express how you feel, and that people are not as how we perceive them, because a lot of the times they will accept us for who we are. And a lot of times when that happens, you will get this epiphany of damn, I should genuinely be accepting myself, and I should genuinely be like acknowledging my fears and acting on them and telling people how I feel and being expressive. And that's a huge role, that plays a huge role in your confidence and being okay in your own skin, because you genuinely like actively are telling yourself that hey, whether you feel fearful or this, I'm going to put you first. Hey, I'm going to always love you first. And that's going to show in your outside world, and you're going to take up more space, you're going to be more vocal, you're going to be louder, because now you see the power within expressing yourself. And yeah, sometimes when I feel uncomfortable, but like that initial uncomfortability is worth it. In my opinion, it's worth it for this feeling. This feeling of this feeling. It's worth it. It's worth it. So yeah.